So it happened again, another shooting. This time they said that the guy was armed, black man. The circumstances surrounding the whole event had to do once again, and this goes back to that old saying with black people, they don't learn shit. They never learn a lesson, right? If something is one of your relatives have issues, mental issues, and they're acting out. They're acting the fool, whatever. They pick up a weapon, a knife, a piece of stick, a broom, and they want to hurt somebody. Don't call the police. If you're black in America, don't call the police. Because majority of the time they're gonna come and they're gonna kill that person. That's what happens. If you do, in fact, if you really love that relative, that friend, whoever that is acting crazy, get a piece of wood, a piece of lumber, a piece of pipe, sucker punch them, do whatever you can to knock them out or restrain them. But don't call the police. They're gonna come and they're gonna kill that person. All right, majority of the time that's what happens, and it happens over and over again, especially to black people. It happens to some white people too, but it happens especially to black people. That's because it's shoot on sight. And there's always an excuse, and cops are not punished. All right, so this is the recent happening. This has happened, what, Monday or so? And of course, the rioting, whatever, right before the election. That's going to give Trump a little bit of fuel, he and his supporters, because, despite 250,000 people dead, this is what he will be banking on. And he would get support for that. Law and order, this is what he's banking on. So this tells you a lot about this country. Tells you a lot about the people who are voting, who are Trump supporters, even some of the stupid black ones. It tells you a lot. That despite 250,000, but anyway, that's another story. But I'm just saying this to show that, well, this is another angle he have for his supporters. This law and order things. When people start looting and all that, law and order. I'm going to send in the truth, blah, 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 whatever. But this is the black people, once again. I mean, I know it's going to probably go over most black people head, whatever. I just don't know what's wrong with black people, but it's another example. You call the cops, you're dead. Especially if you have some kind of weapon. Apparently you had a bread knife, a dinner knife. Yes, there's like 3-4 cops there. Not all of them aim for a kill shot. Nobody aimed for the legs. Nobody aimed to shoot him in the arm, as they would, like how they were able to subdue terrorist suspects right here in the U.S. No, you're black, they're shooting to kill. All right? So, I mean, the rioting and the protests, I always believe that shit is a waste of time. I always believe that's a waste of time. All right? It may start off all nice and well-meaning, but it's usually the Republicans, conservative have a way of spinning these things where it end up being towards their advantage. All right? And black people being protested, I mean, I went over this crap before, all these years, decades and decades and decades, and nothing don't happen. Or it's so slow. It's like you got to wait for white people to accept you, and that old shit, that old crap. All right? Black people are persona non grata in the United States, especially to law enforcement. All right, shoot on sight. We're gonna shoot first, then think about it later, because there are no consequences for these cops. There are no consequences. There's no consequence. That's why they've been doing it over and over again, and they're able to do it. And again, it's not affecting white people, so they don't care about changing the laws and the rules or whatever. But cops get away with murder literally when it comes to black people. All right. There's only one way to change it, to change that. One way, is if these people are punished, these cops are punished. That's the only way. That's the only way cops gonna stop, you know, willing, easily, whatever you want to say, killing black people, especially black men. I don't know with no black and brown, all that shit. Black men, mostly, and black women, but mostly black men. Cause those who they end up killing, like, I don't know, once a month, whatever. I mean, you already got crime in black neighborhoods, and then you have law enforcement also committing the crime, but they don't get punished for it. That's the only difference. They are not punished for their crime, right? So that's why they keep pretty much doing it. They're never punished. Okay? Black people, it's the same thing. The same shit gonna keep happening unless these cops are punished. Whichever way, they gotta be punished. The cops specifically gotta be punished. And again, all these cops that are, you know, this whole blue wall of shit, the whole blue wall of shame, they're responsible too. They are all responsible. Jesus. Because they all always support each other. All right, even some of the black ones, believe it or not, even some of the black ones. Anyway, look, these things ain't gonna freaking change, man. Just like that. You know, you spare the rod, spoil the freaking child. White society is so spoiled. White men are so spoiled. They're accustomed to getting away with shit. Look at Trump. Look at Trump's support. Trump's support has been steady. 250,000 people are dead, and this guy is still. He's still what, 8 points behind? He's still 8 points behind. That tells you about white people. That tells you about America. This place is a racist place. Black people got no business being here unless they really start making change happen instead of waiting and just voting and protesting when shit goes bad. Because the bad shit that goes on is stuff that's been repeated over and over again because the perpetrators are not punished. This society is not being punished. White society is not being punished. All right, the only way they're punished is if, for especially these police murders, is when there's a lawsuit and then the city would pay for the cops. But the cops personally, they don't pay any money. The city covers it. The city covers it. Now they're rushing to fire people and whatnot. I guess I don't know. The appease? No. They get fired. It's a white person. They easily get hired somewhere else. All right. All this suspension with pay and all that shit while they investigate. When there's a camera there, there's videotape. It's bullshit. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. All right. You just had the Breonna Taylor verdict. Well, not already verdict. The grand jury refused to indict the cop who murdered her. Instead, that indict the other one who shoot into the next apartment because that was endangering people's lives. Yet the cop who murdered her in her bed, he got no charges against him. And this was a black prosecutor, by the way. So you see, you know, and you see, and these are the people who support Trump. Then you got black people who support Trump. You know, your YouTube stars. You know, they're sort of like to be on the fence, you know, seeing which way the wind blows, you know, so that they can get their viewership, right, from a lot of these disgruntled black male. Bunch of disgruntled black male. That's what makes up a lot of their followers. A bunch of disgruntled black males who have issues with black women. Some rightfully, some just because they're losers, right? And they don't know that men in society, you can't be begging and asking for sympathy, especially if you're a black male in this society. You got to be strong. You got to go and get shit done, despite what you already you know, the odds that are against you. You have to get shit done on your own. Not necessarily single-handedly or personally, but collectively, black men got to get the shit together. And complaining and bitching about black women and how they're being favored by white society. You know why they're being favored by white society, right? Your mommy Most of your daddies on YouTube tell you that. You got to remember, they actually tell you that it's the plan, it's the way the society is set up, right? To keep you that way, or to keep black people divided that way. So why are you still hating on black women, some of you? Right? Or no, well, I ain't gonna get into the whole immigrant shit. That's another story. But you're a black man, you gotta take whatever opportunity they give you here. Take whatever opportunity this country gives you, right? And run with it. It may not be fair, but then collectively, if everybody take whatever opportunity they get, instead of complaining and it's nothing gonna happen, because you've been doing that for decades, and you know the solution. You gotta be economically sound. You can't be a dependent. Black people gotta get out of this whole dependency shit. All right, you can't depend on these people to give you a job. You can't depend on government to give you a job. You can't depend on businesses to give you white business to give you a job, because it's been decades now. What happens? Last hired, first fired. How long? It's like a mantra now, where it seems as if we have grown to accept that fact and be like forever whiners, forever complainers. You know what I mean? And in that aspect, that issue is not just in America. You've seen it in Africa, where it's like the Africans are becoming dependent on Chinese to create jobs for them, Indians to create jobs for them. You go in the Caribbean, the same shit. We're just becoming collectively this dependent nation, this dependent group of people, which subjects us to all the ills in society. Economy go bad, who the hell is punishing the most? Black people. There's a disaster, natural disaster, who's punishing it? If it's in a black neighborhood, punishing the most? Black people. So we really need to take ourselves out of these situations and find better solutions. Because currently what we're doing, shit ain't working. Shit ain't working. It's another shooting, another murder. Of course it's because he's black. If he wasn't black, they would have found a way to disarm him. He have a knife in his hand. They got guns. They would have shoot him in the leg, or somebody would have tackled him. Again, that's how they caught some terrorists recently, right here in the U.S. They didn't even kill him. They were able to apprehend these guys without killing them. And black people, the one in the Bronx a couple years ago, the old lady, elderly woman, I think what she was in her kitchen, she had a broom in her hand or some shit. They go in her, she's crazy. They went into her apartment and killed her. I still can't forget that incident a couple of years, many years ago, that was on television. Where it was many years ago, early in the 90s, I believe it was. The homeless man that fell in the river, and they just watched that man drowned. There was some black cops there. They could never forget it. It was somewhere in Pennsylvania. I could never forget that image, that video. You had a bunch of people screaming for them to go in the water, help save the man. They threw a rope at him. All they did was throw him a rope, and some bystander actually went and tried to drag him out of the water, but it was too late. He was dead. He drowned. That's how they see black people. Black people, that's how they see you. That's how the society see you, especially white society. And now everyone else seeing us that way, right? That's how they see us. So what's the rioting for? What's the protest for? How long are you gonna be doing? How long you been gonna be doing that? Seriously, how long are you gonna be doing that?